What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now today we're going to be checking out some Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War gameplay using the LC-10 SMG. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm going to really miss this SMG. If you guys don't know, today is the day that it's going to be a massive weapon tuning. And I'm going to go over the whole list basically with you guys today, and why the meta is about to drastically change in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And when I say drastically, I mean big time. A lot of the things that you see going on right now in this game are going to completely disappear, and guns that you didn't even notice are going to be coming to life. And even though some of you guys might think that's a good thing, at the end of the day, in my personal opinion, it's not great. And also, just very quickly before we hop into the commentary, I just want to let you guys know I do record all my videos the day before. I know it's a lot of new people who are tuning into this video that don't know my upload schedule or how I do my videos and stuff like that. But every single video I make is always made the day before. I never make the video the day of. So just know that this weapon tuning update is already out. The day that this video drops, which is on Tuesday, is the day that the weapons are changed. Everything is going to be different. The whole meta should be adapting. Right now, while I'm recording it, I haven't played it just yet. The update doesn't come out until midnight. And when it does come out, don't worry, I'm going to play it. So if you guys are watching this video right now, just know while you're watching this, more than likely, I'm probably streaming within the next hour, and I'm going to be going over all the weapons. I'm going to be playing with each and every one that got adjusted, whether it was buffed or nerfed. And we will basically determine on the stream if this was a good update or a bad update, and if it was good for the actual meta of the game. And then obviously the day after, I'll make a video about it and discuss it a little bit more in detail. If you guys want to check out that stream and be a part of that whole process, make sure you go down to the link in the description. My Twitch channel is down below. But today I would like to make some predictions, I guess I should say, about this whole meta change, because for me, I don't think it's going to be that outstanding. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I know I said guns like the 74U and the LC-10 are dominating the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War scene, and they're really overpowered. As you guys can see, I'm playing combined arms right now with the LC-10, which is an SMG. I'm beaming kids pretty much halfway across the map with this thing. It's a very good, reliable weapon. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But the way they handled this weapon is ridiculous. They reduced the damage range on this gun 41%. Not a tiny bit, not like a mild reduction. They reduced it 41%. Now, I don't know how that is going to feel when this update is finally released. Like I said, I do make the video the day before, so I haven't tried it out just yet, but 41% seems like a lot. This gun, for me personally, feels like the MP7 from a game like maybe Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2019. It's a good, viable weapon. It's a laser beam, it has a decent fire rate, and you can use it at range, but at the same time, it's still an SMG. That's why I always gravitated over to weapons like the MP7 and other Call of Duty games. Like I just mentioned, Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 3. It was just a very good weapon. I could use it at range because I like to be able to challenge people who have ARs. I'm a very reckless player. I don't really have too much strategy behind my gameplay. I just kind of randomly charge at crap and pray to God it works out. So if someone's at long range, I'm going to shoot at him. Regardless if I have an AR or SMG, I'm still going to shoot at him. And I like a weapon, or an SMG specifically, that's going to be able to handle a situation like that. But it seems like Treyarch doesn't want a weapon like that in their game, because like I just said, they're reducing the max damage range by 41%. It absolutely boggles my mind. And the same thing with the AK-74U. Another very viable weapon, something that's very useful to use. A little bit slower of a fire rate, but it packs a punch and is good at medium range, and you can still handle up close and personal if you really have to. Sometimes even tap fire at long range if you really are feeling ballsy at the moment. But they screwed the 74U. Like, they seriously put this gun in the dirt. And they kept doing it. Like, in the beta, it was an outstanding gun. Then they nerfed it more into the final release, which made it even worse of a gun, but it was still viable. And now they're nerfing it more. They're reducing the muzzle velocity by 23.4%, but the biggest thing is they're reducing the accuracy with prolonged firing. As you guys know, the 74U has a pretty slow fire rate. You're going to be shooting that thing, especially at medium to long range, a decent amount. You're not going to be letting go of the trigger because with a slower fire rate, it's kind of easier to manage the recoil pattern, which means that you don't have to tap fire it too often. You could just let that thing rip and try to, kill someone at long range, but you're not going to kill them fast, obviously. It's still going to take time, but now with this new nerf, the longer you shoot the weapon, the worse the accuracy of the weapon is going to be, which means longer range gunfights like medium to long range, like I just said, which I usually could engage with the AK-74U, are no longer going to be happening unless you get your first couple of shots on very accurately. Then maybe you can finish the enemy, but if you're shooting like maybe, let's say 5, 6, 7 bullets, you can say goodbye to the accuracy. You better start tap firing or you're going to get outgunned real quick. And you might be thinking, this is amazing. No more 74Us dominating lobbies. No more LC-10s every single game I play. And I agree, because I wanted the same thing, but I didn't want them to do it this way. I've always been a guy who said you should buff other weapons around the guns that are fun. Games like Call of Duty 4, games like World at War, games like Modern Warfare 2, even Modern Warfare 3. You can go to Black Ops 1 as well, or even Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 was pretty good with the weapon balancing, but all the guns were extremely stupid. And yes, it was annoying as hell sometimes, but at the same time, you're able to use variety. You know, in Call of Duty 4, I can use the M16, I can use the G3, the AK-47, I could use the 74U, the MP5. You can use pretty much anything. World at War, the MP40, the Tommy gun, the Type. You can use the M1A1, the Garand, you can use the SVT. You can use so much different variety in all these games. And they'll still feel like you could actually control yourself in a gunfight without the guns being way too underpowered compared to others. I don't like them nerfing the guns down, though, to make them completely useless, because that's the problem at the beginning. The reason people don't use other guns, like maybe the Milano, or maybe the KSP, which I'm about to mention some different stuff about these guns, but the reason why you don't see that many people using it is because there's just simply better guns out there that will stomp out that weapon, and yes, they still might be viable, but at the end of the day, there's a weapon that's better than that. But sadly, here we go with the KSP-45, increased ballistic speed by 32.5% and reduced burst delay by 20%. That's huge. That is huge because the KSP already slaps. You know, it's only bad because it has a very slow fire rate. That's the only reason why. So people who don't have outstanding accuracy are going to be a little bit more annoyed with this weapon because, you know, they're going to have to land more shots, but it shoots very slow, which means you might not win the gunfight. But if you can shoot and hit all your targets, the KSP is accurate and it's insanely good and it destroys. But right here, it reduced the burst delay by 20%, which is amazing because this means you're going to be able to shoot it faster, the bursts are going to be shorter, which means people who, like I just said, can't land the majority of their shots are going to be able to do this now because you can actually spray it a lot faster than usual. That's great news. I would love to use the KSP more often. I would love to see that, you know, be introduced as a more effective weapon into the Black Ops Cold War scene, but at the cost of what? They didn't need to nerf the 74U or the LC-10 to do this. They could have kept them the same or just mildly nerfed them. They didn't have to reduce the accuracy with prolonged firing for the 74U. That wasn't necessary. That wasn't necessary at all. They could have just simply reduced the burst delay and increased ballistic speed with the KSP. Buff it right up, buff it straight to the OP section with the 74U and the LC-10 and make them all viable. So people will actually feel like they can play with other weapons. Because now, people are going to gravitate over to KSP and leave guns like the 74U and LC-10 alone, and you'll never see them again. That doesn't add variety. That's the exact thing that we're just fighting against. We didn't want to see that be introduced into this game. We wanted it all to be even. But then go over to the Milano 821, increase mid-range damage by 10%, increase mid-range damage range by 33%, increase sprint out speed by 14.2%, increased raise speed by 11%, slightly increased ADS in speed. They buffed the Milano like crazy. But once again, they buffed it, and they left the 74U and LC-10 at the way bottom into the dirt. But it doesn't end right there. Not only is the meta completely changing when it comes to SMGs, but the ARs are going to be so dominant in this game, it's going to be absurd. No nerfs at all. And the ARs are already good, to be honest with you guys. I think Black Ops Cold War, personally, is more of an AR game compared to an SMG game. The only time I really started to use the SMGs is really with the LC-10 and sometimes the 74U, and both those guns are about to get nerfed. And we're going to see how everything else goes. Maybe we'll switch to the Milano, maybe the KSP. I don't know how that's going to go. But the ARs are typically good. The AK-47, the Krig, the FFAR, the Groza. There's tons of amazing weapons out there that you can use in the AR category. But they're just buffing them up. They're making them even better, more dominant than they already are. Which, I can't complain, but this is how it should have been done. Why was it not done this way for the SMGs? You know what I'm saying? The Krig got improved visibility while firing an ADS, complete tuning pass on weapon accuracy, movement, all this stuff, blah blah this, blah blah that. FFAR got increased ballistic speed. The Groza got increased maximum damage range by 40%. 40%. The Groza is going to be meta. The Groza is going to... It was already good enough as it is. They're increasing the maximum damage range by 40% right now. It's going to be goated. It's going to be maybe probably the best AR in the whole game right next to the Krig 6. But this is how they should have handled the SMGs. Why did they nerf the other ones to the dirt? Why couldn't they just buff the other ones up around it? Like I said, I don't know how any of these weapons are going to feel. I'm going to be trying them out. Like I said earlier, if you guys want to see me try them out, I will be doing it on live stream. Twitch link is down in the description to find that channel. But until then, I can't really tell you guys, but from the looks of it, the SMGs are just all over the place. They can't balance them out, and that's my favorite meta. I love to run and gun. I love to be aggro. You know, with ARs and LMGs, people always tell people to rush around with them, but I don't think people understand. And AR is good at range, you know? That's specifically what they're made for. You can still push up. You can still be aggro. but you still want to hold your angles from time to time. SMGs are built for close range encounterments. They're built to be aggro, up close, pushy, and fun. That's what I like to do. I like to push, I like to play stupidly, I like to just get in people's faces. But that meta is so crap in this game, and they can't balance it out. Like I said, I'm going to try out the weapons, I'm going to see how it goes, and I'll make a commentary tomorrow as well, discussing if this meta is good or bad, or what's going on with it. But guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, and by all means, if you hated it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's 2 ways to do so. I have a Twitter and Discord, both links are down in the description, and also catch you live streams of video games I do over on Twitch. Link to that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.